2024年 is turning out to be 越精彩越奇怪耶。
That's crazy, man.
The year kicked off from January to April with a P. Diddlestein scandal, and then from April to June, K-Dot completely destroyed Drake while simultaneously resurrecting hip-hop, and then July saw Trump dodging bullets while Sleepy Joe finally decided to take that long-needed nap. And now, as we enter August, the opening Olympic ceremony has got Yesu for totally pissed.
Nobody fucks with the Jesus.
And it's all because you haven't smashed that like button to help the algorithm. Nah, but on the real, I'm beginning to think that Earth is just a streaming platform for aliens to watch and eat popcorn, yo.
Next up on Earthflix, American Civil War 2.0. Last week, Earth's richest Homo sapien Elon Musk completely shocked the world by saying this sentence.
So my son Xavier is dead by the woke mind virus. So I vowed to destroy the woke mind virus after that.
My man wants to completely annihilate an entire ideology because according to him, they completely annihilated his son. And in a strange coincidence, just a few days later, the Olympic ceremony featured a performance from a group representing that very ideology that resulted in the biggest controversy in Olympic history since the bombing in '96. And on today's video, I'm going to introduce you to this ridiculous ideology that's not only destroying America, but many parts of the Western world. And once you understand that, you will know exactly what the hell is going wrong. Real talk. If things keep going on like this year's election could be America's last.
It's true.
By the end of this video, you will understand how despite his many problems, Donald Trump is getting support from the right and the left. 美国疯狂错赛第一季 is about to begin. So please take your seats, 准备你的爆米花, and let us all say together, 大鸡大条. So to understand how the Olympic ceremony totally went to shit, why the American Civil War is about to begin, and how Elon Musk is about to wage war on his son's murderers, let me give you a little bit of background. For those who have watched our previous 政治正确 series, you already know what it is. But in case you haven't, 给5分钟，我给你讲起来哈. And you will soon realize that this ain't just a civil war, this is an ideological war. First, let's be real, like really real. Trump is a goddamn bully, but he's a funny bully. He makes me and a lot of people laugh, a lot. And like I said before, I like this guy as an entertainer, but as a president, there's a lot of people who ain't laughing. But the current state of America is so bad that Americans are desperately seeking out this bully for help.
To those I say the following. What do you have to lose?
And part of that desperation is due to woke culture. But you might know by its older name, communism. In America, this virus has already infiltrated a lot of university campuses.
It's only the first 15 minutes! It's the first 15 minutes! The Russians have lasted 5 days! Come on!
It's upside down, just like your ideology. All right, how about a name? Come on, give us your name. Come on, have some courage.
Now the clip you just saw is from the University of North Texas. That's a Republican state, yo. And a couple years back, we did a complete series on this whole phenomenon, how it destroyed college campuses, the workplace, and completely took over Hollywood. Link down below. Now everybody knows when it comes to race, we Americans are a bit sensitive. But hey, you try putting on a Hey Some Yinmo and eating a bucket of KFC. Not only is it fucking impractical, but in America, that's racist! And then there's critical race theory. Rooted in Marxism, CRT reports that racism is systemic and that law, science, and even mathematics are all tainted with the stain of racism.
How is 2 + 2 = 4? How does that discriminate against black people or brown people?
Humans have then used math and numbers and statistics in all sorts of ways, from counting black and brown bodies as they made them property and brought them over to these lands, to much more recently, scholars who said that white people were more intelligent than people of color. That's called scientific racism, the use of statistics and tools to construct the idea. It's like something deep in our brains. It's hard to recognize, and that's why it requires time, Jesse.
I think I can smell shite.
As you know, there are quite a few American companies and universities that follow DEI, and they make their selections not based on merit, but on race. But it ain't just about what color you are, it's also about what's missing in between your legs. I think the young folks today are calling it feminism.
I just really need to free the nipple.
But don't get it twisted, because feminism has a shit ton of 加盟店, no? From queer feminism to black feminism to trans feminism to even Marxist feminism. But for me, I follow classic Enlightenment liberal feminism, spearheaded by Mary Wollstonecraft, because her brand is based on rationality, equality, and female autonomy. But this new modern feminism is the bastard child of Simone de Beauvoir. Merde, ces vieilles vaches avaient de sérieux problèmes. This so-called influential child diddler actually makes the top 20 notable Marxist feminist list. Her school of feminism is based on victimhood at the hands of the patriarchy, and also that women are exclusively shaped by society and their environment. And Simone's statue actually appeared at this year's Olympic ceremony. Now, in case you think I'm making all this up, hear from the mouth of the cow herself.
On n'est pas femme, on le devient.
Oui, c'est en somme la formule qui résume l'ensemble de mes thèses. Et ce qu'elle signifie est très simple. C'est que être femme, ce n'est pas une donnée naturelle. C'est le résultat d'une histoire. Il n'y a pas un destin biologique, psychologique, qui définissent la femme en tant que telle. C'est une histoire qu'il a faite, d'abord l'histoire de la civilisation, qui aboutit à son statut actuel, et d'autre part, pour chaque femme particulière, c'est l'histoire de sa vie. En particulier, c'est l'histoire de son enfance, qui la détermine comme femme, qui crée en elle quelque chose qui n'est pas du tout une donnée, une essence, qui crée en elle ce qu'on a appelé quelquefois l'éternel féminin, la féminité.
这句话 inspired a lot of women, and interestingly enough, it also inspired a lot of men as well. And Simone's brand of feminism combined with social constructivism and Jacques Derrida's destruction gave birth to what we now know as queer theory.
At the heart of these controversies is the distinction between sex and gender. What is that distinction? How do we think about it? Sex is generally a category that is assigned to infants that has importance within medical and legal worlds. Gender is a mix of cultural norms, historical formations, family influence, psychic realities, desires and wishes, and we have a say in that.
That brings us to present day at the controversial French Olympic ceremony, as well as American presidential candidates introducing themselves with their pronouns.
Good afternoon. I want to welcome these leaders for coming in to have this very important discussion about some of the most pressing issues of our time. I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit.
Thank you, guys. And my pronouns are she, her, and hers.
She, her, and her. Mine too.
Because upon meeting someone, the last thing you want to do is get misgendered, or even worse, misgender somebody else. Because doing something like that would not just offend the other person, it would also make you the oppressor. Now, queer theory is also extended to a shit ton of genders to satisfy all your queer needs, including agender, cake gender, peach gender, and 50 other different colorful genders.
For example, cake gender. I know a few people who personally use this. It's typically described as them feeling light and fluffy or sweet and warm.
And the best part is they have the pronouns to match.
Today's pronoun of the day is colonizer colonizers. Today's pronoun of the day is grandpa grandpas. Today's pronoun of the day is bear bears. Bear is very vocal about not liking a two-party system. Today's pronoun of the day is mermaid mermaids. I hear that mermaids are a transgender symbol. Mermaid has been calling and emailing mermaids representatives every day to demand a ceasefire.
And most importantly, you must allow trans women to participate in women's sports, because trans women are women. In fact, I think I might be a woman. And if you disagree, that makes you a goddamn oppressor.
And we're on day 167 of girlhood.
Mr. Hollywood, who I'm right here.
Hollywood, zoom in on that.
Now, these ideologies of color, gender, and identity politics are like Thanos' Infinity Stones, meant to be collected by the extreme left of the Democratic Party in America. And once these stones are all collected and placed on the glove, they bestow the wielder with the ultimate Marxist infinity gauntlet of power, gaining complete control over diversity, equity, and inclusion. And with that, they can control companies, public figures, art, film, and even video games. And if you dare to express your dissatisfaction with the opening Olympic ceremony, that makes you a lookist, a racist, a sexist, a homophobe, and everything in between. And you deserve to be canceled, boycotted, and possibly even deleted.
Shame. Shame.
This is woke culture in the modern world, birthed by the woke mind virus that Elon Musk will tell you a lot about later. But let's be real, so far, woke culture has made the Olympic ceremony a bit odd, movies hard to watch, college kids a little loony, and men and women more prone to pointless arguments. It's basically a tolerable inconvenience. But what everyone cannot tolerate is when that virus sets its sights on the most vulnerable group of people in the world, the children. So mocking Jesus' Last Supper and the Blue Dionysus aside, I think we can all agree that the most controversial part of the open ceremony of the Olympics was that goofy nigga dancing with his balls hanging out next to a tiny little girl. This set off a PDF file alarm all over the internet. And when it comes to woke culture, one important aspect of it is the liberation of sexuality. For them, homosexuality, polyamory, and heterosexuality should all be treated equally. And needless to say, conservatives don't take too kindly to that. For them, anything other than good old-fashioned missionary is a kwaisu kong lu to PDF fuckery.
Disturbing footage surfaced of a drag queen performing in front of infants. Yes, infants. The vision is so shocking that we have to heavily blur it, but these are grown adults in bondage gear or in G-strings strutting around in front of tiny kids, infants, toddlers.
For the conservatives and probably many other people, normalizing children being around butt-ass naked adults is a first step in liberating the PDF tongue. And needless to say, this has been a very controversial topic in America. But in this Olympic performance, a tiny little girl was completely surrounded by queer folk and drag queens, broadcast to the entire world. And with so many different cultures, values, and religions tuning in, this caused a lot of resentment. But this is just the surface, because woke culture takes it even a step further.
A family can be made up in many different ways.
It's called SOGI, for sexual orientation and gender identification, a curriculum that teaches public school students across Canada to celebrate the homosexual lifestyle and that gender is fluid. In other words, your gender is not dependent on what parts you were born with, but rather what you feel like in the moment. Another blaring example, drag queen story time. It's happening in Canada and America, where some public schools and libraries invite drag queens, some dressed like horned demons, to read to young children.
So as you can see, the woke virus has already infiltrated children's education, causing kids to recognize different genders and believe they can change their gender based on their feeling, all before they can even ride a bike.
I wanted to make a video to thank my daddy for letting me be who I wanted to be.
Are you ready for on here?
Yes.
And there's even quite a few celebrities whose kids are trans or queer, from Charlize Theron to Dwayne Wade to even Megan Fox. And at the hands of the American Psycho, aka Gavin Newsom, California has already passed the law AB 1955, prohibiting school staff from disclosing their students' identity to their parents without the kids' consent.
That's crazy, man.
And with the woke mind virus having already infiltrated the American education system, the number of transgender kids and adolescents has completely skyrocketed. And one of the victims is the son, or now daughter, of the world's richest man, Elon Musk, who transitioned at only 16 years old. Now, I'm guessing this is one of the big reasons why Elon decided to buy Twitter, because back in the day, Twitter was one of the main incubators of the woke mind virus. And if you don't believe me, then allow Elon Musk to tell you himself. And I'm guessing by the time he already has to say, you will completely believe that it is true. So last week, Elon Musk appeared on Jordan Peterson's podcast. And although he's gotten a little weird as of late, JP was one of the first public figures to openly criticize woke culture and accurately predict the situation that we are in now. We've actually done quite a few videos on him, and after you smash that like button to help the algorithm, you can check out the link in the description down below.
Why are you willing to make this an issue? It happened to one of my older boys, where I was essentially tricked into signing documents for one of my older boys, Xavier. This was before I had really any understanding of what was going on. There was a lot of confusion. I was told, Xavier might commit suicide if he That was a lie right from the outset. No reliable clinician ever believed that. There was never any evidence for that. And also, if there's a higher suicide rate, the reason is because of the underlying depression and anxiety and not because of the gender dysphoria. And every goddamn clinician knows that too. And they're too cowardly to come out and say it. It's pathetic.
It's incredibly evil, and I agree with you that the people that have been promoting this should go to prison. And so I lost my son, essentially. They call it dead naming for a reason.
Yeah,
All right, so the reason it's called dead naming is because your son is dead. So my son Xavier is dead by the woke mind virus. So I vowed to destroy the woke mind virus after that.
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
So where John Wick took out the entire Russian mob over a dog, Elon Musk is gonna take out all of woke culture over his son. Yeah. So the richest man in the world is about to go to war. And the funny thing is, unbeknownst to him, when the Olympics was showcasing that woke buffoonery, his Tesla cars were being featured in the opening ceremony as well. In his response, he later took to X to write,
"The Olympics laser show was amazing."
And then he retweeted a video with this quote,
"Save our children."
On day one, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto the lives of our children. Save our kids is right.
So seeing this, along with the US presidential election, I think it's safe to say that this is no longer a political war, yo. This has risen to an ideological war.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And no matter how bad you think Kamala or Trump is, when it comes to the Democratic and the Republican parties, even if they chose a dog and a cat to run, people will still go out and vote. Because ideological warfare is dangerous as fuck, yo. Don't believe me? Go look up Islamic Jihad, the Christian Crusades, or even the most recent Facebook-perpetuated Rohingya genocide. So no matter which side of the political aisle is sentenced to the White House to become the next US president, it will most likely be their last term. Because both sides are in a completely deluded and crazy state, who have devoted themselves above all else to completely destroying the other side. 真的是代际大条.
Just a small announcement. You're pretty close to going to hell.
Now, I know there's probably going to be a few of you who completely missed the nuanced point of this video. You guys are going to take to the comments to call me a toxically masculine, 恶性直男 homophobic transphobe. Let us be perfectly clear. We at Halchita completely support trans and gay rights. Shit, my first career was as a DJ, playing records in gay clubs, raves, and underground music parties with these people. And both me and we have very close friends and family that belong to this community. And most of them are just regular people who want to go about their lives just like everybody else. But it's that very small, 很吵 woke minority that is fucking it up for everybody.
God bless you. And fuck off.
But that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think the opening Olympic ceremony was tight, cool, fun? Or was it really not that big a deal that was blown out of proportion? And most importantly, can some sections of woke culture coexist with the rest of the world? Let me know what you think down below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the flip side. Peace!